What's up YouTube, Playmatter here, and today I've got a Judgment Dragon Shaddolls vs Shaddolls video. If you do enjoy this video, please comment, rate and subscribe. It does mean a lot to me. As you can see, I open, pretty okay. I've got Denko, I've got several options, I've got a fusion spell. He has got the one back row, so I'm thinking rather than making Denko into it, I Dragon into it instead. This way I can successfully get off my Lumina. Unfortunately, I couldn't go for game because obviously he had Econ, which is pretty much the only thing that it could have been to stop me in his deck. Milling for Raiden first, then Lumina, milling Core and Hedgehog, activating both effects. I choose to get the Shaddolls fusion so that he doesn't use his extra deck in his turn. And he uses anyway, so I go ahead and maxi him. He gets rid of his Denko as well. I draw into the second Judgment Dragon. And I think I've got 4 Light Swans in grave. Once Lumina and Raiden go to grave as well. So he makes the construct attacks over the Lumina, for the 1800, and then sets his beast over it. He actually forgets to add the fusion spell back off the construct. I'm like, okay, affect Raiden. Raiden doesn't mill anything decent, so I'm like, okay, cool, I've got this game now. Make Dweller. He has no response. Activate Shell Fusion from the hand to make a construct. This was solely to make sure I could send a dragon to grave and pop his back row first. And then obviously I make use Dweller's effect, sending the Raiden to grave, being my 4th, I think. Yep, and then pay 1,000, blow the field, add back the core just in case he's got Battle Fader or something, and attack for game. So yeah, we've decided this is game 2 now. I open Raiden, I use his effect. He lets me use the effect, I accidentally go to the end phase. And then rather than, trying to take the option of being in my main phase still, because he was nice enough to let me use Raiden's effect, I decided not to continue my turn and, try for a Shaddolls Fusion play or anything. It's probably best not to use a Shaddolls Fusion anyway. So he's using Shaddolls Fusion, so I know he hasn't got Shaddolls Fusion in hand really, which is quite good. Or it's quite likely he hasn't got it in hand. And yeah, there he is, adding back the Shaddolls Fusion to hand as well. So it's like, okay. So I know he hasn't got the Shaddolls Fusion, and he hasn't got the option now of sending Shaddolls Fusion and Shaddolls Core, unless he plays 2 core, to add a Shaddolls Fusion to hand. So I should actually be quite safe in using my extra deck, or in snatch stealing and taking this monster. So obviously, yeah, Falco gets attacked twice, once by construct and destroys itself, so yeah. And he tribute sets this time, hopefully remembering to add a Shaddolls spell trap, adding the core. And I think he chooses not to set the core. So here I'm like, okay, Multi for Raiden. Ooh, hit a Squamata. At this point I'm like, okay, if I go for Dragon and force him to use his Shaddolls Fusion, then I can use my Shaddolls Fusion from hand to Shaddolls Fusion from the extra deck. If he has another card in his back row that he feels is safe enough to make the fusion monster, then I can just lie there and pop the back row. So he does indeed go into the construct after some time thinking. So I'm like, okay, cool. Do and resolve all of your effects. He sends a Hedgehog and draws for Beast, and then searches from Hedgehog, also searching the Collapsed Serpent. So I'm like, okay, go for your back row, and he's like, enemy controller, take control of Raiden. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, that completely changes the fact that this turn could have been game. So after some time I decide, okay, I'm not going to do anything else. I'll just, mill 5. Mill 3 first. get hit into the core, mill 2, draw. I'm like, okay, I've got 7 in hand. I could Shaddoll Fusion, but he might have drawn into the Shaddoll Fusion by now, so I'll just leave it. I feel secure enough that he can't have a game. So yeah, he sends the Shaddolls Fusion there. There goes the Shaddolls Fusion, so you can actually add it off anytime construct dies. Brings on the Collapse Serpent. So he spends quite some time calculating here, and essentially it's deciding whether or not he has game. So there's his BLS. I'm like, right, okay, I see a BLS. Bit nervous at this point. He's calculating, and if he has any monster to normal summon for 900 or more damage, then he's got the game. But very luckily, he doesn't. So there I go ahead, take the 7100 damage. Unfortunately, that puts me down so low. Yeah, there's the set Falco, and there's the core. So I do my favorite thing, which is to send Wolf with Shaddolls Fusion. And once again, I'm gonna use Dragon to make sure that his back row's out of use and send Falco. Wolf is mandatory, so it's like the last thing that happens. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, take the BLS, banish, and then Shaddolls Fusion with your BLS, because that's probably the best thing I could do, making sure that your Falco's out of use. I could have gone into a Shekanaga, which might have been better against the construct, but I wasn't certain what I wanted to do this turn, and I knew I couldn't. I knew I probably could have had game, but wasn't sure how I'd make it past all 4 and deal 8,000. So I just thought, you know what, I'll just go for a little bit of damage this turn, and I can definitely game him the following turn if I do. So, and then I go for the JD attack directly, and he's like, Battle Fader. I'm like, wow, he actually has Battle Fader. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad I didn't go for game because he would have been able to Battle Fader me, and I would have left myself in more of a vulnerable position if I'd have put 2 JDs on the field, milling 8, and yeah, so I'm glad I kept the JD in hand, milling 4 in the end phase, which I kind of forgot to do as well, but did before he does anything in his turn. And yeah, you see him kind of thinking about what he can do in response to my now quite big field. He's obviously got Shaddolls Fusion, which I haven't really got vanities for or anything, but I do decide to chainlink 1 is Shaddolls Fusion, so I make chainlink 2 and 3 Shaddolls Fusion and Shaddolls Core. So Core resolves, comes a monster, and then I can use it as a material for Winder, so that he can't have a very big turn before his battle phase, so he definitely can't use his battle phase to plow his way through each of my monsters. So he's like, okay, well, Beast and Mathematician to make a Shekanaga in defense mode, and basically just hope for the best as a bit of a wall against me. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I've got a couple of options of getting around Shekanaga. I've obviously got Breakthrough Skill Engrave, or I can make I can flip summon my Falco and make a Leo, and just attack straight over it. But let's have a look at what I actually do. Okay, so I'm checking my grave. I'm like, okay, Falco effect, get Beast. Falco effect, get Beast. And then I'm still kind of deciding actually whether I'm going to make a Leo or not. But then I decide that it's probably for the best to go into the HS Simoth instead, actually. Yeah, that's the Simoth. And then I play Shaddolls Fusion from the deck to send Bulb, and then I send my Beast to clear a set monster, so I have got the opportunity to have 5 monsters on board. I've also got Shaddolls Fusion in hand, so that's how I got around all 3 monsters. And and then being able to go for game as well. I checked, I checked my extract to make sure I also had a construct in there, which I do. And there we go, finish off with the construct. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this game. Till next time, Playmatters signing out.